Hello, how are we doing today? It's Monday. Today is July the 8th. Hope everybody's doing well. It's day 462 of this journey towards that CCIE routing and switching number. So, hope everybody's doing well this Monday. Hope you've had a good day so far. Mine has been great. Had a great weekend. I'm going to recap that a little bit and talk about plans going forward for this prior to the lab exam, in which I have 98 days to prepare. So yes, 98 days away is the countdown currently. So, man, and it's really starting to feel tight. I have basically 12 free weekends to prepare for that. So, but let me just kind of give you a little rundown of where I'm at, what I'm planning to do for the next for the rest of this time till October 14th, D-Day. Yeah, so I did this weekend. Well, this weekend included, we had a holiday on Thursday, Independence Day, and I had some free time, not much on Friday, but of course, Saturday and Sunday, labbed, and labbed. I mean, there's not much else to say. I did not stream this weekend again. This may be a trend, I don't know. It's just I get into this into a zone like labbing and with the realization that there's not much time left before D-Day, so that's why I have not streamed much, and I may do that. The stream's not going anywhere though. In fact, I've just bought I have a new shock mount that I bought that I'm going to install hopefully today. This came in today, so new stream gear hype. I have a surface over here, a desk, where this thing, I don't know, you can probably see it vibrates a lot. So this will at least help with the microphone, give it a little stability here. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. So really excited though from the labbing this weekend. It went really well. I'm going to show you where I'm at. As a matter of fact, I talked about doing this. I finally got it done, but I did a plan for the labs going forward. So 12 weekends. And again, weekends are like the full labs. So again, if you're new to the channel, this is the INE workbook. This is my primary tool right now. And what I'm doing is I have one section to finish up, IP services. So I'm doing that weeknights and weekdays. I did a little bit of that last week, like Thursday and Friday, going through NAT sections. I got stuck a little bit for a minute on some of the NAT principles. I don't know. I guess part of it was just realizing that, when you say IPNAT inside or outside on a router, those are just logical constructs. All you're doing is defining, a directional flow. And, it's just a tool to kind of define where the NAT is going to occur and whether you're going to NAT the source or the destination. I mean, inside outside can be whatever you want, and just realizing how the flow works in terms of when you would do inside NAT and when you would do source inside or source outside statements. And I think I got through that, and since then I've been doing and redoing some of these lessons just for emphasis and ensuring that I have the concepts down. I'm doing so. Anyway, I don't expect any problems getting this done. Again, right now I'm not worried too much about the time I take to do this. The main focus for me is on weekends when I do the big labs. So this last weekend, I started this lab last Sunday, the Sunday a week ago. And it was tough. I did not get all the way through it. I'd redone Foundation Lab 1, started Foundation Lab 2, and it took me, I labbed all day Saturday, except for a little bit of time with, family time in the morning. Labbed all day, woke up the next morning, yesterday, at like 6:30 a.m. and I booked lab time. I've been doing I&E labs. Well, of course, I've been doing I&E labs, but I've been using the I&E rack rentals, and I've been using the I&E racks for these labs. And right at 6:30, like I started my first rack rental and started up again, getting through this. I got all the way through it yesterday. Everything pinged. All the routes were there where they needed to be. And it's a really good lab, good foundation lab. There was some tricky stuff in there. I&E, well, in my view, they always do a little bit of tricksy, as I call it. Sneaky. There's a little bit of that in there, all with good intention, of course, and it was good. I'm not calling out to say that it was unnecessary. It was. So anyway, went through that. That took a long time, man. And as far as tokens go, I've burned through. I'm now down to about 1,600 tokens. So I've burned through about 200 tokens doing Foundation 1 and 2. With that in mind, with the limited weekends I have left, this is kind of what I'm banking on schedule-wise. So I've got next weekend, and I have Friday off. I have this upcoming Friday off. So I've got a 3-day weekend. And I'll do Foundation 3 during that time. There are 3 troubleshooting labs here in the workbook. And I hope to do those over the course of 2 weekends. That may be a little generous. I don't know. I don't know what these look like yet, how many tasks there are, etc. We'll see. I don't know how they compare to the WISP labs. We'll find out. That being the next 2 weekends, I would pretty much round up. Hopefully by the end of July, this will be done and these will be done. That's going to leave 2 sections left to the end of this course, this workbook. Full skill labs and mock labs. So full skill labs, I've got those 1 each weekend. Now there are going to be some gaps in here due to family, due to trips in August. But basically by the end of August, I should have all these done, and I should be able to redo them. So, hey, buddy, I got a link of the day here. Stripe interface briefs. I haven't been on Twitter until a few minutes ago, and man, did I have a bunch of notifications. Check out this video, folks, if you haven't already. This is an interview that Show posted. Interview of David Peñaloza. So definitely check it out. I think that's part 1. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be great based on the Twitter storm. Good to see you, my man. Hope your prep is going well. I just finished Foundation Lab 2 this weekend, and kind of plotting out my weekends here. Now I wanted to, and of course this would be mock lab. Pulling for you. Thank you, man. You too. Pulling for you too, bud. I've got mock lab 1 and 2 in start of September. And then I've got here speed drills review. What I want to do, and I'm probably going to pull a trigger on this maybe tomorrow, but I have the feeling that this is not going to fill up the rest of my time before my first attempt. Of course, I could do them again, redo them, but I didn't know if I'd have time to squeeze in the bundle from the CCIE, well, Cisco 360 bundle. Let me go look at that again. So I may do that tomorrow. I got to find out if we have enough Cisco Learning credits. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They stopped selling those in August 1st. So yeah, you have about 3 more weeks. So tomorrow I need to find out what credits we have. I don't know how many credits that would equal to. Because I would probably go for, I know, Show, you recommend this one, the Advanced Mini Bundle. So I would imagine I would have time to do that. I wonder if it'll tell me here how many learning credits. No, it's not going to tell me right away. I have to log in. So anyway, I'm going to check on that tomorrow. If not, I may go ahead and buy this myself because it looks like I'm going to have, if all goes well, I'll have 3 weeks to start a different workbook and or labs. And let's see, well, I still have hours, but I need to buy the graded assessments again. Advanced bundle. Okay, let me see. Yeah, advanced mini bundle. So this has, if you drill down, "15 expert level labs with troubleshooting and configuration sections. 5 include large scale with about 30 devices. Oh, you get 150 hours of virtual rack rental. That's cool. I guess you would need that. 2 advanced performance assessment labs. Okay, 2 advanced performance assessment. And 2 diagnostic assessment. Yeah, that's really good. So yeah, I think I just talked myself into, if I cannot get it through my employer via learning credits, then I'll go ahead and pull the trigger myself because there's not much time left to do that. And that might be a good way to kind of round out the last few weeks. Now, I will mention too, these weekends that I've planned out, throughout, I've taken, today I went through my vacation days and I didn't use all of them. I have some buffer days left because if for some reason I don't pass on my first attempt, then I want to have some reserve days that I can use to scramble for another 2 months, to work on these. So, but peppered throughout here, probably each of these, like every 2-week period, I'm taking either 1 or 2 additional vacation days to work on labbing. So that's my plan going forward. What I learned from the Foundation 2 labs is that 1, speed and accuracy is important. And accuracy brings speed. And a couple of big mistakes I made in the Foundation labs. In one case, they wanted you to create an interface loopback 100. And it was going to be used for tunnel, I believe, or redistribution into an MPLS network, but I overwrote interface loopback 0. So I left off a 0 and changed the IP. And then later down the road, I noticed I had some other routing issues. And I didn't find it on Saturday. My lab time ran out. I shut, my timer ran out. And then yesterday I labbed it up in Azure, actually. And as I had a little more time to go through and check and verify everything, that's when I noticed a mistake. And that cost me a lot of time, actually. Another kind of silly mistake that cost me a good bit of time, it was on 2 tunnel interfaces. Yeah, there was an issue where I had DMVPN tunnel interfaces working fine, but IPsec, later requirement was to add encryption to the DMVPN tunnels. There were 2 of them, and I could not get that to work. And I kept saying, oh, this is a bug, this is a bug. So with the night's sleep behind me, it shows saying, oh man, I'm over, shaking my head, agreeing with you. I've been through those same sorts of mistakes. Yes, man. And what was it on the tunnels? I think the error was I left off something on the hub. I don't even remember it, but it was, bottom line, it was a typo. And I think when I started the lab, I was like, okay, I really want to impress myself, and I want to get through this really fast, right? Because this is a foundation lab. I should be able to get through it in 5 hours or 6 hours, right? Because I'm new to large labs. And I think because of that mental pressure, that mental unfair pressure on myself, um, it caused me to make several mistakes, some typos. But the thing is, I was also rushing through verification. And that's a strategy I really need to get better at on these bigger labs is you can do verification for days. Like you could spend, if you look at some of the INE workbook solutions for these bigger labs, I mean, you'll see all sorts of verification commands, all these different things you can verify. There's not enough time, I don't think, at least I'm not that good, to do that much verification. But I kind of went to the other extreme. I thought, well, you know, let me do all my IGP routing first and my redistribution. Let me do all that configuration. Then I'll come back and verify. That's probably a little bit too aggressive on the configuration side. At least that's what I learned, because I went down a couple rabbit holes that ate up a lot of time on things that turned out to be typographical errors that I probably could have caught earlier if I would have done a little bit more due diligence throughout. So those are lessons learned, valuable lessons learned by doing these labs that I think are going to really help in the real thing. So the other thing in terms of strategy is, so there were some areas I hit in the foundation lab that I thought, oh, well, this is foundation. Maybe I don't have a good foundation. That's not really a way to think of it, because there were some kind of sneaky things in there, requirements. But I probably made, based on the results from that foundation lab, there's some areas I hit that I did not remember seeing earlier in the workbook. Now, maybe I missed them. Maybe they weren't covered very much. There was some IPv6 redistribution things that I missed that kind of caught me off guard. There were some other things related to OSPF authentication that caught me off guard. OSPF network types and LSA advertisements. So what I did is I ended up creating, from Foundation Lab 2, I created 20 new flashcards today. There were also areas that I had to use the command prompt too much, and even Cisco docs. So I'm like, okay, this needs to be by rote. This needs to be just, like, I think one thing that's weird about OSPF MD5 authentication, when you're doing area authentication, instead of MD5, it's message digest key, or message digest spelled out. That threw me for a little bit of a loop. Things like that I need to have committed to memory. So I created a bunch of new flashcards for those areas, and that's going to help a lot. So thanks for hanging out, folks. That's going to pretty much wrap it up tonight. Again, check out Tony E's video, Show IP Interface Brief, and hang out with us in Discord. You run across any issues or things that you're, there's a whole group of us right now that are just in scramble mode. If you're there as well, reach out to us if you just need motivation, if you need tips. Tony says, thanks, man. You're a real inspiration. Hey, you're very welcome, man. You too, Tony. And you're always firing up the community as well. Looking forward to watching that video, man. I know it's going to get me pumped. So thanks so much, folks. Hit us up in Discord if you need a lifeline. And we'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you back here tomorrow night here on the Land Tamer Stream. Have a great night.